But I have to confess that I've thoroughly trivialized what you do. My mom's my whole life, even talking about just her for a minute, I mean, it can be really nerve-wracking. A surety ki koi mujhe sun bhi raha hai ya nahi. There is a slightly sexist dialogue to bravery. You know, in my mind at least, I suddenly see this male, strong, physically active figure.
She's promoting a new film and this is the first time she's on Just Do Film Me. Sara Ali Khan, thank you so much. मेरे radio show पे आने के लिए यार.
Thank you, जी.
Okay, I get really happy, Sara, when there is any mention of this medium because इस medium से मैं मतलब 17 साल से बंधी हूँ. This is the first time you're probably playing any form of a radio presenter. So let's start with, has there been a place in your life for radio at all?
You know, there has, but I have to confess that I've thoroughly trivialized what you do. I have never understood just how, you know, in fact, one of the other days, for a promotional activity only, I'd gone to a radio station myself. और एक होता है, you know, कि आप film के लिए कर रहे हो. But actually, जब मैं वहाँ उस radio station पे कुछ promotional का काम कर रही थी, तो मुझे बोला गया था, चलो 1 मिनट का link कर दो, traffic के बारे में बात करो. या 1 मिनट का link कर दो, your firsts के बारे में बात कर दो, mom के बारे में. My mom's my whole life, even talking about just her for a minute, I mean, it can be really nerve-wracking. And I think subconsciously as an actor, शायद मैं ये बात समझने लगी थी क्योंकि जब पहली बार उषा बोलती है कि ये है देश का रेडियो 42.34 मीटर्स पर हिंदुस्तान में कहीं से कहीं पे हिंदुस्तान में I think that Kanan sir and me have hopefully, at least from what we realize or we've been told, seem to have done a pretty convincing job of the fact that she was nervous. There was that nervousness, you know, of, and along with the nervousness, the lack of a surety कि कोई मुझे सुन भी रहा है या नहीं. I think one of Kanan sir's favorite lines in the film is after Usha does her first broadcast. She says, किसी ने सुना होगा क्या? And today, we're making a film inspired by the life of Usha Mehta, where she starts this, she just thinks that, पता है, हम क्यों हारते हैं हमारे revolts? 1857 का revolt, for instance, क्यों हारे हम?
Communication.
क्योंकि communication का कोई साधन नहीं था. There was no way to align and galvanize what everybody disjointedly knew, but how to come together. And that's when she was like, you know what, let's open our own radio station.
It took me back to my first ever link on this very radio station, which is Fever, okay? And I remember it was 12 to 4 a.m. और मैंने भी यही सवाल किया था कि कोई सुन रहा है क्या? And it's such a great feeling when you start getting those messages and it trickles in. And today, of course, I mean, they've allowed me to be on the air for so long. So, hey man, thank you so much for experiencing a little bit of how my medium feels.
Really,
Thank
really.
you. However, I also feel that every time I've met you or I've seen you get into a film and promote it, Sara, you take the film. Like the film is you, you are the film. And I remember कि हमने motion posters का launch किया था IFFI में in November. उस time पर ज़्यादा कुछ पता नहीं था लोगों को film के बारे में. But I remember you said this on stage. You said to us कि मुझ में भी एक ठहराव है. And I don't know if films take you or you take films. ये क्या रिश्ता है? Okay, how much does the film really impact Sara Ali Khan?
I think it depends. And it's been a journey for me. I think I've finally maybe reached the stage in my work where I'm fully allowing it to impact me. I think what I didn't realize is I had barriers up involuntarily that I didn't really know that I had. But I think that I'm beginning to understand that the most important thing to do in our line of work is unlearning and surrendering. And every time you try to do that, even to some degree, something new will seep in. I think that I've been very lucky to have been given opportunities to play a variety of roles. You know, for instance, I'm promoting Murder Mubarak in this film simultaneously. Now, Bambi Todi and Usha Mehta have very little in common. I think maybe Sara Ali Khan is the limit to what they have in common. So I think when you're doing things like that, you realize and you recognize that, wait a second, maybe I can be glamorous. Maybe I can be urban. You know, because I have been given a lot of love for being like this rooted Desi girl. So to suddenly see me in like the avatar of Bambi Todi, where you're like, okay, maybe she can be glamorous too. And then comes an Ae Watan Mere Watan, where I realized that what I need to actually rely on is an inner fortitude, an inner strength, an inner conviction which will maybe enable me to not even then raise my amplitude to like a loud gregarious attention-seeking volume. When you will just know it, फिर आवाज को बुलंद करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी.
बिल्कुल.
And that's what. But if I said this to you at IFFI, I'm really happy because maybe I saw what was going to hopefully come.
Yeah.
And I realized that, you know, now whether it's on social media or whether it's personally, I'm getting so much love and appreciation for Ae Watan Mere Watan, the song Katra Katra, the trailer of this film, that people are maybe, I think, seeing me in a different light, which is enabling me to see me in a different light.
Yeah, I think it's kudos to you for actually believing that you can be these amazing women, right?
I hope so.
I must share this with you. I've had the good fortune to actually meet Ushaben Mehta many times. Okay?
Meet?
Because Gandhi Smarak, you know, में हम जाते थे मणि भवन में, and this was a school thing, so she would be around at points, and at that point, of course, we didn't even know because we were kids. I think your film and the trailer, when it dropped, like my mom texted me saying, do you remember you met her? Maybe you were too little, you don't remember. And I wanted to ask you कि Ushaben Mehta ने सारा अली खान को क्या दिया है?
Undying inspiration. इतनी प्रेरणा कि it's not about what you have, it's about what you can do with what you have. ये करो या मरो सिर्फ उनका नारा नहीं था, उनके जीवन का genuine मंत्र था. उन्होंने क्या कुछ नहीं छोड़ा. She, from celibacy to giving up her livelihood, not seeing, making the decision to be like, maybe I'll never see my father and my bua again, but this is what I need to do. It would have been very easy for her to just live with her British judge father in the comforts of the life that she had. She gave it all up for the larger cause of life. She has left me with just immense inspiration. I have a lot of respect for what she has done, and it has also enabled me to see sacrifice and bravery in a whole new light. There is a slightly sexist dialogue to bravery. You know, in my mind at least, I suddenly see this male, strong, physically active figure. Yeah. But the subtlety of her strength, the femininity of her sacrifice, and the bravery that she just exuded every day in her life makes me feel like it is my responsibility as an actor to bring this story to everybody, because if she has moved me, I know she will move all of you.
Move everybody. I completely agree. I also feel that, you know, in this sort of storytelling, and you were so right, कि bravery इतना male term है, it's so crazy, right? And हमारे freedom struggle में भी, there's never been a massive story, you know, headlined by a female freedom fighter. I hate it. हम 2024 में हैं and we're still saying male and female, but it's true. And I think that's massive for us कि ये कहानी बाहर आई. So I'm going to go back to asking you, were you a good history student at all? Did you?
I'm a history major.
Yeah, so is that something to do with the fact कि ये choice एक natural choice थी?
No, I don't think that they were at all related in that way. Of course, being a history student just makes me more intrigued, more curious,
Yeah.
more analytical maybe, but I don't think that that was necessarily related to a film like this. If anything, I felt guilt that as a history student, if I don't know who Usha Mehta is, I can just imagine the hordes and hordes of people that deserve to not just hear the story of an inspirational tale of the freedom struggle, but I think the tropes that she embodies are very essential even today. What she's saying is, आपको अपनी आवाज़ से नहीं कतराना चाहिए. You should stand up for what you believe. And while we might, touch wood, thank God, be a free nation today, there can still be the need to raise our voice for anything, whether it's political, whether it's social, environmental, in our workplaces, at home, the need to have a voice.
Talk to me about वो mental makeup क्या था, क्योंकि मैंने film देखी है by the way.
What did you think?
I just felt that I found you completely different, a big departure from every other role you've ever played, and which is why I think ये मेरा सवाल है कि what happened to you. Talk to me about the process of becoming Ushaben Mehta. What were you like on the nights that you were shooting for this film?
I think that fully surrendered to Kannan sir, fully appreciative of the opportunity that I have been given on two levels that I didn't maybe realize, but to some degree must have coincided. I think every day portraying this character made me realize how privileged we all are
Correct.
to live in a free country. And at the same time, how personally privileged I am to be able to be given an opportunity like this that's gold for any actor. And I think both these levels of gratitude somewhere tied in together to bring about whatever it is that you've seen and liked on screen.
And I must tell you that about a year ago, when she was promoting her film, I met your grandmother. And it's a big deal for someone like me because, I mean, she's a legend. And she left me in that interview with so much love and grace. And she said, you do what you do so well. I mean, I'm really impressed. She may not know, but she left that with me forever, right? I'd love to know how proud she is of you today for making a choice like this.
Very. I was speaking to her just yesterday,
Yes.
and she's very, very proud. I think that more than just the choice, I think to see how it's turning out, the song, the trailer, she really loves it.
हमारी ज़िंदगी में आज अगर लड़कियों को उषा से कुछ लेना होता तो क्या लेते उनसे?
आत्मविश्वास कि जो आप ढूंढ रहे हो वो शायद आपके अंदर ही है, और अगर आप अपने अंदर की ज्वालामुखी को फटने नहीं दोगे तो बाहर आप जितना भी बदलाव लाने की कोशिश करो कम है.
Absolutely. Do you think that the values in the film are relevant in 2024?
More. More. And that's something that in fact Karan sir said at IFFI at the stage that we were on, that of course this is a inspirational story of the freedom struggle. It's also an extremely thrilling kind of movie watching experience. Pakde jayenge, nahi pakde jayenge. You'll be at the edge of your seat with our BGM, our cinematography, all of that.
Yeah.
But that aside, I think that, like I said before, the need to have a voice and the need to stand up for what you believe in is something that stands the test of time. And I think the youth of our country is intelligent enough to understand that today. And they will be inspired by this story in more ways than any of us recognize, I think.
Absolutely. I know it's been 5 years of Sara Ali Khan, okay, and I really enjoyed
my God.
Sara Ali Khan on cinema, on Instagram, all of it. And yet we know so little. I always say this to my listeners, कि, you know, you can only know what you tell us about you. There's so much that we don't. But at the same time, it'll be lovely if I can find out कि इस वक्त, as an actor, okay, looking back at these 5 years, और आने वाले 5 सालों में, it's like an interview question. Where do you see yourself today and 5 years from now?
You know, I see myself today as finally proud.
Yeah.
You know,
That's amazing.
I recognize fully. I've been a history student. I went to an Ivy League college and now I'm an actor. So the one thing that I've understand the importance of thoroughly and will never stop is the need for learning and growth. So that will always keep happening. But I think on a more human level, the need to take stock of how far you've come is also very important. So I think today, having been an actor for 5 years, I'm just proud that I'm bringing to you a film like this. So I think pride and gratitude is what I'm feeling right now. And I just hope that that can continue.
Yeah, I hope that can continue too, because here we are, as I said, we can only know what you show us, right?
Yeah.
And for right now, you showing us a fabulous chapter from Indian history.
Thank you.
And I think that that will always remain with us as something that you added value in our lives with. So
Thank you.
thank you so much for appearing on my show.